Hi friends, in this video we are going to talk about heat transfer coefficient, that is U value. In this I am going to cover heat transfer rate, what is transmission coefficient, impacts of transmission coefficient, methods to get effective transmission coefficient, and sample U value calculation. We all know from the heat load the importance of the U value, so that will affect the heat transfer rate. So now we will see how it is going to get affected. We all know the heat transfer rate Q is equal to U into A into delta T, where Q is the heat transfer rate in BTU per hour, A is the heat transfer area in square feet, U is the transmission coefficient in BTU per hour square feet degree Fahrenheit temperature difference, and delta T the temperature difference in degree Fahrenheit. So if U value is closer to 1, your heat transfer rate is high. When U value is closer to 0, the heat transfer rate is less. So from this you know what is the importance of the U factor. Now we will see what is transmission coefficient. So we all know that when a building is constructed and there will be a heat transfer from higher temperature to the lower temperature, and depending upon the resistance of the building material. If the resistance of the building material is high, your heat transfer from outside to inside is less, and if your resistance is low, then the heat transfer will be very high. Okay, so what is transmission coefficient is? The transmission coefficient or U value is the rate at which heat is transferred through the building structure, and the unit is in BTU per hour square feet degree Fahrenheit. Now U is equal to 1 by R, reciprocal of total resistance. The resistance R is equal to the summation of all the building structural material, because you will have different kind of materials, so you have to take the resistance of all the materials, add everything, plus add the resistance of outdoor and the inside air films. Then you will get the total R. R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 up to Rn. So from that summation of resistance, you can find out the U value, that is 1 by R. And now the impacts, the transmission coefficient. As I told you, higher the U value, that is when the U value is coming closer to 1, the heat transfer rate across the building structure is high. Lower U value, heat transfer is lower across the building structure, where that is lower value means when it is approaching closer to 0, the heat transfer rate is less. Now the methods, okay, we know, okay, when U value is high, heat transfer rate is high, when U value is less, heat transfer is lower. But how to do that? How do we reduce the transmission coefficient value? I am listing out some of the things. One is select the building material with higher resistance. If resistance is high, automatically U value will become low. Next is thickness of the wall or ceiling, you have to increase it. Higher the thickness, lesser the heat transfer. Or higher the thickness, lower the U value. And further to lower down, you can insulate, that add thermal insulation, or the construction of the building itself you can make with a double wall construction with the air gap in between, which will drastically reduce the U value, or external shading arrangement for all the exposed walls. So with these are all some of the methods we can reduce the transmission coefficient value. Now details required for U value calculation. One is material of construction of the building structure, that you have to get whether it is constructed through brick wall or blocks, or single wall construction, double wall construction, or insulation is there or not. All the things you have to list out material of construction. Then from the architectural drawing you have to find out what's the wall thickness, whether it is 6-inch wall or 9-inch wall or 18-inch wall. Ceiling, for wall and ceiling you have to find out from the architectural drawing. Next, if thermal insulation is added, then you have to find out what's the material of insulation material and what's the thickness. Above all, then after that the wall is finished with the plastering. Then the plastering thickness, whether also you have to work out, you have to find out from the architectural drawing, and all these informations you have to note down before calculating the U value. Now sample calculations we will see. So here I am going to talk about exposed wall, partition wall, RCC roof and floor. Okay. Now the sample value calculation for the construction of the wall, exposed wall, I have made a simple arrangement, that is 9-inch thick brick wall. On both sides it is plastered with 1/2 inch sand cement plaster. Then you know the exposed side is having outdoor air film resistance, and then room side is inside the air film resistance. So this is a simple arrangement, simple kind of wall. So let us see what's the U value we are getting. Yeah, you can from the carrier handbook and all, you can find out the outside air film at any position at 7.5 miles per hour velocity, air velocity. The air film resistance is 0.25. So this I am naming it as resistance 1. If you see the previous slide, the heat flow starts from outside. First it is crossing the outside air film resistance, then plastering, then brick wall, then again plastering, then inside air film resistance. So this is the pattern of heat transfer, heat flow. So in the same way I have made it. Outside, first is outside air film resistance, which is resistance 1 R1, which is 0.25. Next, after that, if you see that our heat transfer flow diagram, next is sand cement plaster, which is on the outside wall. So this resistance is 0.2 per inch thickness of plaster. So this is R2. In our case it is only 1/2 inch. So in the calculation if you see that R2 is 0.1. Next is it is crossing the brick wall. So brick wall, since it is considered 9-inch thickness, whereas 4 inches 0.8. So for 9-inch it is 1.8. That's what I have mentioned in here. It is R3. After that brick wall, then it is indoor air film resistance, plastering. Before that, after that there is a plastering. So again the same thing, 0.2, and our thickness is 1/2 inch. So 0.1 I have considered. After plastering, then inside air film resistance. Here the heat flow we have to consider. The wall is vertical and heat flow is horizontal. From outside to inside it's coming. So which is equal to 0.68 is the resistance. This is R5. So for the exposed wall, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, the total resistance will come to 2.93 and U is equal to 1 by R, that is 1 divided by 2.93, which is coming to 0.34. So this is the way you have to work out the U value. So this is the calculations for the exposed wall. Now we will talk about partition wall. So in the partition wall, the only difference is heat flow remains same because our construction of the wall, everything remains same. The instead of exposed to sun, it is not exposed to sun. There may be some other room this side, non-AC room. So it is going to be like a room side air only. So that is the only difference between exposed wall and partition wall. So in the calculation also, if you see that outside the air film resistance, here if I say I have taken only 0.68, that is, it is like a inside room air film resistance only. It is not exposed to sun, so I have taken 0.68. And art and plastering and brick wall all remain same. So the total resistance works out to 3.36. Just see, earlier was 2 point something and now it is 3.36. The U factor works out to 0.3. In the exposed wall it is 0.34. Now it is in the partition wall it is 0.3. So to that effect, the amount, the heat transfer rate will get reduced through the partition wall. Now we will see for the exposed RCC roof. So here the heat flow pattern is downwards because your roof is exposed to sun, air conditioning area roof is. So heat from outside to inside. So the heat flow is horizontal roof and downward heat flow. So here also I have considered 9-inch thick RCC roof, and the RCC roof both side I have considered 1/2 inch plastering, and the top of the exposed side is exposed to sun, the other side is roof side. So the heat flow rate is heat flow pattern is horizontal down flow. So here, like wall, the outside air film resistance is same 0.25, plastering remains same, and for RCC it is for 9-inch thick, per inch thickness is 0.08, so 9-inch thickness will come to 0.72, and inside air film resistance, because of the heat flow pattern, it is horizontal down, it is changed to 0.92, and the total resistance works out to 2.09, and U is 1 by R, 1 by 2.09, which is equal to 0.48. Now we will see for floor, RCC floor. The only difference is in the roof, it is heat flow is from horizontal downward, here it is horizontal upward. If floor below your conditioned space is non-AC, then this will play a major role in your load calculation. So here also, if you see that inside air film resistance for horizontal and upflow, it is 0.61. Balance remains same, plastering 0.1 and the RCC is 0.72, but the air film resistance for inside and non-exposed floor, if you see that, it is 0.61, not 0.92. So the heat transfer rate will be always higher in case of floor. Roof, at least you can do insulation and then reduce the heat transfer, but the floor you can't do that. So for floor load, it will be major load for the heat load calculations. So now from this you can see the importance of the heat transfer coefficient. So U value, when it is coming closer to 0, then the heat transfer rate will be less, and when it is going closer to 1, it is high. So you have to effectively select the building structural material, then add some insulation if required to reduce the heat input to the room, and arrive a effective load for the air conditioning. If you have any queries on this or any clarification is required, please contact me or reach me at hvacdesign40@gmail.com. Thank you. And maybe I am expecting response, and suppose if you want some specific topic, want to be may give a presentation, please write to me. Thank you.